Hello, you're back with Beatle, back on Heroes v Hordes. Following on from our last video, we are continuing in adventure mode. I have completed a few of these off screen. I got to the gate. You needed to wait 72 hours, interestingly, so it's just, you can sort of speed things along with videos or paying, but I've managed to get to the end of that, and now I'm at stage 5, Magical Shrine. You get to choose one of these as a blessing. I'm just going to go for the small blessing plus 1 magical projectile. There we go, small blessing complete. We'll move on to stage 6. Horde Outpost. Foolish hero, do you think you can defeat us with your pitiful skills? Still survive for 5 minutes. Modifiers, plus 1 physical. Projectile, minus 20% cooldown with curses of minus 20% area of effect and minus 25% armor, and we'll just jump straight into it. Interestingly, since my previous video on this, I will just get the bombs here. The devs actually did put out a message to say that the sort of win rate of the stages was really low, so they have decreased the difficulty. I'll upgrade the fire stuff there. So I'm hoping these stages now will be a bit easier, and I will be able to speed through quite a few of them. I'll just upgrade the fire stuff there again. So I guess we will see how much easier they have made it. I'll get the hammer. I don't really like the hammer in general. I know the evo of it is quite strong, the warhammer, but as we have plus 1 physical projectile, that does fall into that category, so hopefully that will be worthwhile getting. Next level up, might as well get the crossbow here, why not? Or it's another physical projectile, so we'll get an extra projectile with that. Level up's coming really fast. We might as well get the area tome here just because we have the bomb, and the area of effect really helps the fire stuff out as well. Big wave incoming, so it'll be interesting to see how much easier they have made it in general, although I am a bit further along than, well, I get the chain lightning here. I am a bit further along than obviously the first stage. I'll get the critical tome here, as the hammer isn't very good, but the warhammer, when it is evo upgraded, is very strong. Don't really need any of those. I'll just give it a quick reshuffle. There we go, glad I did that. We might as well get the crossbow there as well. There's still loads of enemies on the screen, although I think that can make it a bit easier. We'll get the duplicator tome here, always a nice one to have in your build. I think the chain lightning there is best to get. You get loads of these level ups, which obviously increases the sort of strength of your hero. I'll get the hammer there, as I am trying to get the warhammer. Just level up after level up here. Might as well get the chain lightning upgraded there, although I think most of them would have been absolutely fine. As I have the lightning, cooldown tome would be good. Fire staff also would have been an absolutely fine upgrade to get there, but we might as well just keep upgrading the weapons when we get them. But it's just level up after level up here. Do I want the damage? I may as well get the damage tome there, and that will just sort of finish our build. So pretty much any upgrade we get here is absolutely going to be fine here, and we'll get the fire staff upgraded. Pretty much I was just upgrading constantly, so that's all that was missed. I've upgraded about 5 or 6 times. It is a lot easier. There isn't as many enemies now, unless I'm just killing them a lot quicker before they can get on the screen. I'll get the chain lightning there, as I am still getting a lot of gems, so presumably there's a lot of enemies on the screen, but they're dying really quickly. So I think they've just reduced the health of the enemies and potentially reduced the numbers as well. I also haven't sort of come across an elite either. I don't even think I'll need to get the heal or the magnet. I seem to be absolutely flying through this, so I think I'll just continue on, and we'll get the thunderbolt there. Here we go, 2 minutes left to go pretty much. Elite had so much less HP, died really quickly there. I remember in the first stage I did before they reduced the difficulty, the elite still took quite a bit of time to kill, so I can definitely tell that the difficulty has been decreased significantly there. Whether or not they've actually done it too much, it's crazy. I mean, I pretty much only just completed the first stage, whereas now it seems really easy, to be honest. I mean, I've got a thunderbolt and the fire staff doing a lot of damage, but I've never actually felt anywhere close to being in danger. I mean, big wave incoming here. They're dying really quickly. I don't even think I could have took damage there if I wanted to, just by running into them. They seem to die that quickly. Just get the area of effect there. But to be honest, I think this is what it should be. Obviously, I'm still on stage 5 of between 30, 40, 50, or however many it is. So they should start off easy and obviously increase the difficulty as you move along. So we'll see how it goes. I'll probably do 2 or 3 in this video, and we'll see how we get on. Here we go. Warhammer has now been acquired. Warhammer is just such a better upgrade than, we'll get the area of effect there, than the actual hammers themselves. The hammers, the area of effect that they do is relatively quite close to you, whereas the warhammers obviously complete 360 degree around you, and they go all the way off the screen, so they pretty much hit every enemy that you can see, similar to the chain lightning, I suppose, but obviously a different projectile. Big wave incoming. Presume this will be the last sort of challenge of this whole wave, but whether or not it will be tricky doesn't look like it. I don't want to speak too soon, but it looks like it will be easy enough. I'm pretty much fully upgraded now as well. I think there's maybe one upgrade that I could get, but realistically that is me fully upgraded, 5 seconds to go, and they certainly have decreased the difficulty, and it's pretty obvious that they have. There is critical tome, so nothing too important, and when we do finish that off there, the wave cleared. Let's just have a look at what did the most damage. Again, it's going to be the Thunderbolt and the Fire Staff. I think that was the exact same in the previous video, with the DPS of the Thunderbolt being the highest, with the Fire Staff having the most damage. Crossbow also actually had 1.1 million damage, which is quite interesting. That wasn't even Evo upgraded. Interestingly, the Warhammer had really low DPS. I thought that would have been quite a bit higher, but I guess it is what it is. But there we go, that is stage 6 complete there. Now it looks like we can choose which way we want to go. Do we want the hero orbs or the scrolls? Probably the hero orbs are better for me. They are both the same goal of survive 5 minutes. Area of effect and +1 magical projectile speed, and +3 projectiles. That sounds a bit more interesting. So I might actually get that +3 projectile. I presume the curses are worse. So we'll go for the Horde Outpost stage 7. Foolish hero, do you think you can defeat us with your pitiful skills? Survive for 5 minutes again, and +3 projectiles, so that could be quite interesting. Here we go, first level up, we might as well get the fire orbs. There should be a lot of projectiles, considering that's level 1. There you go. So it would be interesting to see how many projectiles that I can actually get on the screen here. I'll get the bomb. Just leveling up really quickly. I've just sort of skipped ahead a few levels. I did actually get the extra projectile tome as well, which is why the fire orbs have been leveled up. There it is again. You know what, I might actually get that just to see how many fire orbs we can have on the screen. Could even be better than the actual ultimate of the fire orbs themselves, the flame wheel. When there's a lot of fire orbs, I often think that that can be better than the actual flame wheel, but not too sure. But it's, oh my god, we're actually flying. Level 3 of the fire orbs already. Big wave incoming. I can have it. This might be quite tricky. I'll get the fire orbs again to level 4. Why not? Whilst it's there. Loads of levels up. They just come so quickly. I can't believe we've got the fire orbs again, plus another projectile with it, as well as area of effect. And I guess we might as well go to the flame wheel, which might be a shame, because I have a feeling that the actual fire orbs would have been quite good themselves, and we'll just get the damage tome there. So I have a feeling the flame wheel is going to be doing a lot of the damage here, especially at the early stages. It might change later on, but it is what it is. I'll get the evasion tome here. I'll try and get the poison dart a bit later, as I do quite like that. Here we might as well just get the area tome, and we do actually get the poison dart in our next level up. I'll claim that, and none of them was able really to come that close to me, so there'll probably be quite a few level ups around with these gems. I just sort of let them collect a bit, so have a feeling, in fact it already says there's 2 level ups, so we'll get the fire staff to level 3 there, and probably a couple more levels just laying around. We'll get the chain lightning as well. I think they might have even made it a bit too easy. We'll get the poison darts there, although I think any upgrades at this stage would be absolutely fine, as we're absolutely flying. But area of effect is going to be one of the best ones, just because of the flame wheel that we have. Obviously that seems to be doing the bulk of the damage. Nothing can actually get through that as well. Here I'll get the poison darts just to mix things up, just so we're not absolutely just relying on the fire staff. We'll see if we can actually use some other weapons. Such a big area of effect now with this flame wheel. Nothing can get through, although they are getting a bit closer, so I'll just see if I can get a few level ups. Maybe could do with the damage upgrade. I'll just get the fire staff there. I still think any upgrade here is probably going to be fine, but the damage would be nice. The projectile upgrade obviously affects the fire orbs, but whether or not they actually affect the flame wheel, I'm not actually too sure. That was just the evasion there from the chest. So it would be interesting to be able to test that out, or unless anybody knows, if you get the projectile upgrade, I'll get the damage there. Does it actually affect the flame wheel, or is that just classed as one big projectile, or are they actual multiple fire orbs split up in one big circle? Not too sure how it works, to be honest. Big wave incoming. Let's see if we're actually able just to stand still. That's probably our best tactic, given that the flame wheel is our predominant sort of damage dealer here, and it looks like we are easily able to. So again, there's probably going to be quite a few level ups just waiting for me on the outskirts here, but maybe they have made it a bit too easy. It depends on how much they sort of scale the damage as you get closer to the Reaper, but for now this looks like it is relatively easy. We barely even have to move. I also wonder still if they have sort of done these enemies to scale with your hero and your level, or if everybody is having the actual same level. So if I was using a level 10 fire wizard, maybe I would find that a lot harder. Not too sure. But last minute, let's just run around and see if we can collect some of these gems, get a couple of level ups. I'd imagine we'd have a few. In fact, there's already 5. So we'll get the poison darts here. We'll get the fire staff, we'll get the chain lightning, we'll get the chain lightning, and we'll get the poison darts. Next level I should actually be able to get the evo of that. There it is, the venom vial. So that working with the flame wheel will absolutely be unstoppable, especially with the damage upgrades that we've got. So I can't imagine us actually being in any danger. We've just got the thunderbolt there as well, so I imagine this is going to be really easy just to sort of see us out the last 40 seconds. Big wave incoming. It seems that they've got the same sort of process in every level. So the last 20, when it gets to the last 20 seconds, there is a big wave to try and sort of give you that final challenge, but absolutely no challenge for the build that we've got here. The venom vial, the thunderbolt, and the flame wheel are doing absolutely all the damage here. We've killed so many enemies. Look, all the gems still on the floor as well. Wonder if I can get any level ups, but it's not really gonna matter, so a bit of a waste of time to get those. But there we go, wave cleared, 2 runs are complete. Stage 7, let's see what's done the damage here. Again, thunderbolt always going to be at the top with the DPS. Fire staff still had the most damage, even though I did sort of use some others, but venom vial was very close with the DPS, and then flame wheel surprisingly quite lower DPS, but the total damage, it actually came in second place there. So quite a good run there, nice build that we had, and we'll just get the rewards, the hero orbs, and we'll move on to one more stage. As you can see on the top as well, you have the sort of energy that you can use to go on to the stages. They did remove it. Unless you paid, you could only get 3 out of 3. I think they did remove that cap in the recent update as well to decrease the difficulty in getting the Reaper. So some of the sort of rewards and things are those energies, so you can get more than 3. Obviously I've now got 10, so hopefully I can actually make quite a good run of this, and we'll just go into stage 8 here. So we'll have the area of effect increase, damage increase with 1 less projectile and slower projectile speed, but hopefully it will be easy enough if the last 2 stages are anything to go by. With the area of effect as a blessing and the less projectiles as the curse, I thought it would be worthwhile just trying out a new weapon using the divine aura. Obviously the area of effect is going to really help that, and it doesn't count as a projectile, so it doesn't actually affect it there. Dragon's Breath could also be quite an interesting one to use. We haven't used it in the previous 2 either, so we'll give it a whirl. Might as well get the area of effect here as well. We'll see if we can get a bit of a divine aura build as well. So we've just picked up the boomerang and the fire orbs. We'll see if we can just get a close range build. We'll use different weapons than we have in the previous one. We'll not get the thunderbolt, just so we can at least see what does the most when the thunderbolt isn't there. I presume it would be the fire staff, but if possible we'll actually try and upgrade some of the weapons that aren't the fire staff, just so we can actually do something a bit more interesting to compare some of the DPS of some of the other weapons as well. First big wave incoming. Interestingly, the divine aura seems like it doesn't actually do too much damage. A lot of the enemies sort of still can make it to you, although here they seem to be dying really quickly. I think the big wave incomings, the enemies actually don't have too much HP, so they're not actually too tricky to defeat. Here I will get the damage tome, especially that we have the fire breath as well. I'm sure we'll get quite a few levels just from the outskirts here, and there it is, divine aura. Get the recovery tome just so we can evo that divine aura as well. There it is, in fact, vampire aura, bit more damage, and you get a bit more HP back using that. And we'll get the cooldown tome here, just even though we don't have the lightning, it's always a good one to have. This ogre actually caught me a bit off guard. I'll get the area of effect again, so to level 3, and look at the divine aura range there. That's what the ogre did before, just to get my HP a bit lower. I didn't actually see what it was doing. And we'll get the projectile. Why not? I think any of those would have been absolutely fine, to be fair. And there he goes, he's down. Attack speed and the fire staff, both very good upgrades to have, but I've never actually seen the vampire aura and the fire orb range this high. Obviously the perk was an increased area of effect, or the blessing, and that, as along with the upgrades of increased area of effect, I think I've actually still got one or 2 more levels I can get that a bit higher as well. Here we'll get the fire orbs. Another big wave incoming, but so far it's actually proved really easy. There is nothing that really can get through to me. Everything's dying as soon as it hits the vampire aura and the fire orbs, that they just die. Wow, that is a lot of fire orbs on the screen there. And especially such a big area of effect, everything is just instantly dying here. You know what, I'm gonna get the flame wheel, why not, just so it's absolutely massive. I actually haven't really seen that ever that big before. Just picked up one of those punch-in gloves, and look at the absolute carnage of this build. The fire breath is absolutely massive. It's sort of nearly at that 180 degrees. You know, it starts out just as a little slither of fire, and once you've got the upgrades and the area of effect, it's absolutely massive. We'll just get the damage there. So last 30 seconds, it's just more how many enemies can I kill more than am I going to die, because this is absolute carnage here. So much. And we just upgraded that dragon's breath again. look how wide that is. That's crazy. Interestingly, no big wave incoming at the 20-second mark. I will get the dragon's inferno here just to sort of finish off the absolute destruction of this build. I know I've used different weapons in this wave, but I actually quite enjoy the uniqueness of the sort of build I've got here. It's not one that I'd usually run, but I've enjoyed it. It's been an interesting one. Probably even stronger as well than some of the other ones I've got, but obviously I'll do a bit of a damage comparison. I know Thunderbolt is generally at the top in every run I have it, but obviously I don't have it here, so it'll be interesting to see what does take the top. And interestingly, the flame wheel had the highest DPS. I think that's the first time I've ever seen the flame wheel at the top, with the fire staff a very close second. Everything else wasn't that strong really, especially when you look at the DPS. So interestingly, obviously Dragon's Inferno still did okay, but when you compare that to the fire staff or the flame wheel, it's still 5 times lower. But there we go. Stage 8 complete. We've got 400 of those sort of magical dust things, and we can sort of carry on advancing. But there we go. Still a while to go to actually get to the Reaper. Still loads of levels to get. So I might actually do a few off screen, but we are making progress. Slow progress. I suppose that's what we've done so far. The gates here, fortified gate stands tall, a formidable barrier to the adventurer's journey. Generally, I think it's 72 hours you need to wait, so you just need to try and get there ASAP, because you obviously only have 25 days left from when I am making this video to actually complete this Reaper adventure. But there we go. We'll call the video here. Obviously, it has been made a lot easier thanks to the devs decreasing the difficulty, so it's just a matter of time in terms of actually just working your way up to reach the Reaper. But if you have got this far, really do appreciate it. Any feedback, please do leave them in the comments. Like and subscribe if you've enjoyed it, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Cheers.